There they go, guys. I want you guys to welcome two incredible individuals. My sister, Timeless Travel, who's got a lot of incredible things. We're gonna get to know more about Timeless Travel. Someone that you guys have met before. My brother from another mother. Somebody I actually love dearly. Been to him and his wife and two children, two little beautiful little ones home for dinner. Myself, my wife, John, and his wife, and just an incredible dude with an amazing soul. And has a lot of great things going on right now with cryptocurrency, and we'll talk about those as well. If you didn't catch the last time we had Majid on, Majid was after my brother. So, how you guys doing today, man?
Awesome, man. Great day. Well, I'm in Vegas. It's beautiful out here, and I think there's just so much development happening right now in the space. It's exciting.
Okay, awesome. And my sister, Timeless, how you doing, sis? Can you hear me? Okay?
Good, having some connection issues at the
No,
moment.
that's okay. That's
Yes,
okay.
I can. I'm my connect third world countries, y'all. Third world countries.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. So I'm gonna start with Magic because everyone, Doray's in the house. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to cut you off, but we got to bring back Tails because Doray just gave us a super chat.
Better off, I'm selling at a loss, not caring what it costs. I ain't when it drop, waiting for the flip flop to the tip top. While you watching TikTok, so my new
Doray's a legend.
the Vegas crypto meter. Hello, nice to meet you. Shower DAI like we do it all
Okay,
the time.
let me
Did a
stop.
show with Lady E.
I've been dancing a long time. Let me stop. Okay, guys. So really quickly, we're gonna go back to my man Majid, who's been on the show before. If you guys don't know Majid, if you can give us a quick recap, my brother, of who you are, and we'll talk about some of the things that you've done, but just who you are and how long you've been in the crypto space.
Yeah, great to have be on again, James. Love your show. You're so giving, and I really resonate with the vision of being able to have a go-giving community where we're impacting people all over the world. For people like myself and people like Timeless, who's in a third world country, where I grew up in one.
Wow.
So there's a lot of need out there. So if we could contribute that way, that's amazing. So I love it. Love being part of the community. So thanks for having me on. But I've been an enthusiast in crypto since 2015. I'm in the energy sustainability space, working with big manufacturers, industrial companies. So I knew that blockchain would eventually impact my world. So it started off as, professional curiosity, but then it just became a degenerate after that.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
uh, and about a year ago, I have a really good friend of mine who's a influencer on LinkedIn. He's got a 500,000 followers there, Corey Warfield. And he reached out because he was getting a lot of inflow. So we started a launch pad together, and we basically work with companies that are either de-risking the space, solving some pretty big Web 2 issues with Web 3 tools, and just making that process over to blockchain land more frictionless, for the consumer. So working on adoption, right? So love being in the space, and it's a blessing to be not just in the space, but also be surrounded by amazing individuals like yourselves. I think all of us, if we're in crypto, we've been in it for a while. In the beginning, it was just for a hope and yeah, it was really a hope. Like, man, I hope this thing works out. It does, but
Right,
now
right,
it's actually happening, right? So
right,
it's cool.
right. I think that's funny. And no, you're absolutely right. And you're very humble because you're doing some really big things. And for those of you guys who don't know what those big things are, we'll may get into some of those things we talked about in the last show, where Magic has had involvement with metaverse dealings with like Floyd Mayweather. He's doing things with like Polygon. He's doing, I mean, major things. And one of the biggest retail chains in the world, which I don't want to disclose because that's just private information. But he's doing some massive stuff. So, and if you ever want to know really what our show is about, and all the things we're doing with charity and giving back, and why my mindset is the way it is. If you ever want to look at someone and get a pretty good idea of what everything I'm doing is about. Majid is a good indicator of that, with his heart, his giving personality, his mindset, and just what he stands for as a person. And you know, if I could put 5 people around me that I just want around me all the time, Majid would be one of those 5. So thank you so much, my friend, for being on. And so Thymeless, my sister Thymeless, it's funny
Yes.
because me and Thymeless actually met in a previous group, right? We were both part of the IBF group, and you know, I saw Timeless there, and I saw Oculus there, and it was always one of those things that we were all there, right? We come from the old school days of being a part of that group, and we didn't really talk a lot, right? Because I think a lot of us just kind of coexisted. But you guys, I noticed right away, you guys were some players. You guys were somebody who, even at that time, was leaned on a lot, and did a lot, and just weren't average. You know, you were always involved in doing things, and that spawned into this relationship that you and Oculus now have, where you have your own show. And I actually think I have that here. I want to just kind of bring that up as you. So if you could, I'm sorry, Timeless, just tell me, number one, who you are, which I know who you are, what you're doing right now, how long you've been in crypto, and where are you at? Like I know you're traveling the world, and it's funny because the clue is in the name, Timeless Travel. But just kind of explain, how long you've been in crypto and what sent you on this journey that you're in right now, traveling, and then we'll get into some other things as far as what you're doing currently.
Okay. Well, I had heard about crypto for many years before I got on
Okay.
Bitcoin, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds like a scam. I'm not doing that." And my husband was still in the military. We're both disabled veterans now, and we didn't have the money to take that risk at that time. But I kept hearing it; it kept getting traction, and I was like, "I like to research too much. Let me start looking into it." So I started actually investing in crypto at the end of 2018.
Okay.
After doing like a year and a half of research, hemming and hawing, like, is this something I really want to do? So was in, and then I said, crypto is going to afford me a lifestyle later that I truly want to have. And that is, I had kids early so I could travel the world. As a cancer survivor, I dealt with cancer for 10 and a half years.
Wow.
And didn't think I was going to make it out of it. So being in remission and now being able to live my life, I'm living my life.
Wow.
The end of last year and the beginning of this year, we came to Mexico for the first time. And I said, okay, at the end, I want the end of the trip to be funded by crypto.
Wow.
So I can tell community, this is how you can do it if you invest appropriately and you know when to take profit.
That's right.
And you're fully diversified so that when something's down, you can still take profit with something else.
Right.
So I arbitraged my own portfolio to show that it could be done. And a lot of people say, you're not going to do it. A year later, we have sold the farm in Colorado, sold everything. We traveled the United States for a few months, and now we've been in Mexico for 2 months. So currently I'm in Cancun, beautiful Cancun.
Wow.
And I am in a local neighborhood, because that's one thing I said, is I'm not going to go to all the tourist areas and keep feeding into that economy with my US dollar. I'm going to go to those ATMs, pull out the pesos or whatever currency of whatever country I'm in, and be around the locals, learn the locals' way, because I don't want to create these be contributing to these pockets of expats that are wrecking economies around the world.
That's right. And so many things that you just said that I want to touch on. Number one is congratulations on being in remission, and your story is so heartfelt. As I dealt with that with my father. We had a little nephew here, just 10 years old, some months back, that had to have his arm amputated. It's a real deal. It's serious. And to know that you've done things to put yourself in a better position, my heart goes out to you. It definitely means a lot to us as a family. We're always going to support you, and you're always in our prayers. The second thing is, you're absolutely right. It's one thing, and I think it's one of the hardest things. I want to talk to you and Majid both about this. It's hard. It's easier said than done, right? And what I mean by that is taking profit. That's one of the hardest things to do if you don't have a plan. Because if you think back, and I've had so many conversations with members that are in here, friends that I have partnerships with, guys who may be worth a couple $100,000 now that were worth like 1.4 million last year, right? And they're down maybe a couple $100,000 because you just don't know. And I remember those debate conversations like, man, Jay, should I take Jay? I think I should take some profit. And it's hard because even at that time, you're feeling invincible. You feel like on top of the world. You feel like, and it's that fear. If you don't have a plan, that okay, I'm at 1.6. Oh my God, I can get to 5 or 10 million, and you never think about the retracement. All of a sudden, you look back up, and 80% of what you had is gone. So taking profit is huge. And even and sometimes taking profit doesn't mean, it's not always taking profit and then putting it in your bank, or taking profit and I think it's various things. Like for me, it was taking profit, putting some up maybe in our monetary system where I got to pay bills and things like that. Taking profit and putting it into other coins and things that I want to do dollar cost averaging. Taking profit, going to like a stable coin, and then also taking profit and enjoying myself, buying land, buying property. We were able to buy acres here and acres there and cars here and all. So because when the market dropped, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I might have spent $30,000 for that particular Mercedes. And at that time, I gave that dealer 30 grand in crypto. Well, today, had I not done that, that same 30,000 would have been like five. So taking profit is definitely, and enjoying yourself along the way is definitely amazing. So definitely something that I admire about you. And then the last thing I want to say, and I want you guys to remember that point. Number one is taking profit and the importance of that, because I want to ask you guys both about that. And then the second thing, or the third thing, would be what you're doing right now. I know, sis, how you must be feeling right now. And a lot of people sit back and they look at you. And my wife, Jeanette, I know she understands this feeling, because when we were walking through Hawaii for almost 2 years, and that was home and no longer a place that we were visiting. Like, you've been there for 2 months. That's a lot better than a weekend. That's a lot better than a couple days. And to have that peace of mind and that freedom, that crypto and other things that you like you said, you sold some property and stuff, but taking your crypto and just being able to live free, raising your kids, and it's about you right now. It's about you, your husband, your life, and I think that's what's so amazing to me, is that freedom. That freedom is worth more than money. That time, that waking up when you want to, eating when you want to, not having to report to nobody, that type of thing. So just really quickly share on taking profit and what that feels like to be free right now, if you don't mind. And I want to ask Majid the same thing as far as taking profit and his mindset on that.
For sure. Before, I was afraid to take profit, and I got wrecked. So that taught me to take a step back. And one thing that Oculus and I had talked about privately when I first met her is having a crypto book.
That's right.
So I developed my crypto book. Everything I bought, from the coin, the ticker, the time, down to the second, the price I bought something. In each coin or token that I have in that portfolio, is each line, I go and look at it. If it goes up by this amount, I take this amount of percentage of profit. So what I try to do is I keep bumping my profits until I'm on house money. I like to be invested in everything that I have, eventually on house money. So I'll either put it in stables, or I'll roll it into another crypto. But as I go, my older cryptos are all house money.
Nice.
And that's what I intend to try to do all the way along the way. So then you're taking then you'll get to a point where you're taking profits on profit.
Right.
You're not even, yes, you're getting the gains, you're seeing the price, but you're not feeling it. That was not your fiat that you put in that anymore. That is all house money. So that is how I do it. And in each coin, I create a plan individual to itself. It is not something that is, if I did it for this one, I'm doing it for this one. They're all very much individual, depending on what type of coin it is, what utility, or is it a degen play?
That's right. That's right. That makes a lot of sense. And the last part about that, before we go back over, matter of fact, let's stay with that real quick, because I'll go back about freedom. But Majid, your mindset on taking profit and why that's so important, my brother.
100% agree with Thymeless that, I've gotten wrecked by not taking profits. I'm a hodl guy, right? Like, I get the long-term picture, and I used to trade, but once I have kids, I just don't enjoy it anymore.
Right. That's
so
right.
I don't, right?
Yeah,
but when there's certain positions I'm in, if it doubles, I'm pulling. It's automatically, all right. It's already doubled. I got to take my original out, right? And then it's house money. Everything after that, it's great if it does, and then I don't care if it doesn't.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because for me, like in the space, it's really about working within it, right? It's really about like if I'm in a token, I want to be in that token. Like I want to be in their community. I
Right.
want to be, playing with their platform. I want to use their lending service. I want to be in that ecosystem.
That's right.
So that way I'm like, man, this thing sucks.
That's right.
Like then I'm out of it completely.
Right.
Right? Like I don't care about the hype. If I don't like using it, I don't want to be in it. I mean it's but taking profits is a big part of that. Then you're not worried about tanks like this because then you're like, man, it's time to go in again.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
like, thank goodness it's back. We got this discount again. Like this is like you know, Kmart Blue Light Special.
That's right. And I think what you said, I love that. You remember the Kmart, I was talking about that a few streams ago. But one of the things that's important about what you guys both said is even though there's a structure, right? It's good to have a structure, Thymeless and Majid. And what I mean by that is, like, I have my 25, 25, 50 take profit. I covered that before, right? Where my whole thing is I want to see it 4x from my initial investment. So if I put in 1,000, right, and I get 4,000, I'm sorry, if I put in 1,000 and it 4x's, then I'm sorry, yeah, 4x's, I'm going to take 25%. So it just initially I'm just getting my 1,000 back. So even though I've made 3,000, by taking 25%, I got my 1,000 back out. So my first 25 is a 4x, so that I can take 25% and be whole. Now it's house money, like you guys said. Then the next thing for me is to go from that 4,000 and 4x again. And then I want to take another 25%. Now, all this stuff is predicated, right? Even letting the other 50% ride and then seeing it 4x again and taking 25%. Even though that's my strategy, I'm sure you guys both agree that sometimes strategies are made to be, where you're changed, right? So you don't have to stick to that strategy. What I mean by that is, I think that's based off of my due diligence and my belief and what I've done as far as my homework on that project, understanding the project, and seeing where it's going. Let me explain that. If I got Matic at, let's say 5 cents, right? And Matic, I wanted to see it get to 10, but I understood that I felt in my head Matic was a $10 coin. That changes my perspective of my 25, 25, 50. Because even though I might want to get my initial profit, I may wait longer for that next 25 and let that 75 ride, understanding that one day it could be 10. Now, I'm not going to be greedy and wait for 10, but then I might wait to take my other 25% at $1 or at 90 cents, right? Because there's so much upside potential. So even though I have a strategy of the 25, 25, 50, it changes based off of the incredible opportunity in that coin. Let's say, for an example, Bitcoin did crash, like Coin Market Cap is saying, and Crypto Savvy is saying, and all these big time TA, technical analysis, market analysis, fundamental analysis people are saying. Well, then if Bitcoin gets to 5,000, it's cool to kind of assume that maybe, not financial advice, I might see XRP at 15 cents again, maybe, right? So if I get in at 15 cents, understanding what that particular asset is, I may decide to take profit a little longer down the line because I understand of where it was at its peak. So explain, or kind of comment on that as far as, yeah, you can have a strategy, but your strategy could be altered based off of, right, your belief system. So, and it's kind of like what Tom was saying, it doesn't have to be the same way for every coin, right? I may treat one 10%er differently. Like I might have bought Magic Coin, and I might treat Magic Coin as a 10% because I believe and I love Magic, right? Then I would treat, let's say, Shiba, because I thought Shiba could be the next Doge. So my profit taking may be different because had I did the 25, 25, 50 on Shiba, which I didn't, I would have never saw $500 go to 600 something thousand. You know what I'm saying? So it's all within your belief in that particular project. So if you guys don't mind touching on that.
Yeah, I can just go ahead and, can you guys hear me still?
Yes, loud and clear, sis.
Okay. So for me, I am excited about the down cycle, the bear cycle,
Right.
This bear cycle.
Right.
A lot of people get scared, and we look at the fear and greed index on Bitcoin.
Right.
So for me, I'm waiting for it to go down.
Right.
I also think that during this down cycle is a process of elimination. Even if there are coins and projects out there that are amazing, it might not be their time right now.
That's right.
And macroeconomics is going to show us that. And if that crash comes down extra hard, they might be eliminated just because.
That's
And
right.
that's why I think each individual coin should be looked at in a proper way for how you're going to take profits.
That's right.
I used to look at it how you do it, and that's when I broke it down separately. I have a very sad story about Matic, because that's why I'm really big on people to take their money off the exchanges.
Right.
Is I was preparing for the bear market. I put all of my Matic on Celsius
Wow.
to build the bag. We won't go into figures, but it was very hurtful, but I actually took it as a learning experience to teach our community, because that's what I'm based on. I don't want to create a project. I'm just here for knowledge and education, because I feel like that is what I'm excel at, and I feel like I'm a people person enough to be able to explain it. And I'm not going to serve you a cup of hopium with it.
That's right.
So
that makes sense.
It's just being realistic within this. So I really like what you're saying, and then just being on house money. And so a lot of times, if I really believe in a project, I'll put that into stables, wait for that to come right back down, and then I double down.
That's right.
So then I'll be able to get back to house money better. But then I'm accumulating those bags, because if you have little bags and you get a major pump, you're not going to see huge profits off that.
Yeah.
You need to have enough coin and token for it to make sense when it does pop.
That's right. And I think that's one of the things I was talking about, scary, Majid, and that's a great point, sis, is when, you get up to that 600,000, and that's probably a good time to take 50%, right? Because sometimes that 25 might just be at one particular situation where you look back, and that's when, I had like Aaron, the disciple in our group, or I had Crypto Savvy One saying, hey, we're going down. And Aaron was telling me this so much that I almost blocked him a couple times. I was getting irritated with him saying, it's going down. Had I listened to him and took profit, I would have been in a different situation altogether, right? You're talking about millions of dollars, right? Difference of just, and then what we do is it starts going down, and you're like, I'm down now, I gotta wait, and then it just keeps going down, and you never make a decision, and I'm guilty of that as well. So it's always a learning opportunity, and that's why it's good to stick to your strategy. Majid, your thoughts and feelings on that?
Yeah, I really like the stable, kind of bringing the stable, because, we know what we know in the top 100, right? Like, we know what's going to be around for the most part,
right?
And I think that should be the majority of our portfolio.
That's
right? Now, the other 10, 20, 30%, what's really cool is that some of the biggest development that's happening right now, these guys don't even have tokens yet.
That's right.
Right. So paying attention to the development in the market, I think, is very, very important. Taking a look at the agencies developing, right? So if you take a look at companies like Future Tech or BlockBar or Crossmint or any of those companies that are actually the platforms that Starbucks and Adidas and these guys are using for integration, right? If those guys don't even have tokens yet, and they're making these huge impacts, right? So, but if and you're keeping track of those guys, and then they come into the 10% fold, you're feeling really good about it.
And that's true, because the key is, obviously, you want to make smart investments, which was the 70%ers. That's the Bitcoins, Ethereums, your XR, things that, again, not financial advice, but the Matics, those are 70%ers. So you're safe with those, right? And then the 20%ers are the ones that we believe in. They've gone through a lot to get to the 20%. They've been audited. They got great partnerships, great use cases, something like a VeChain with Walmarts and H&Ms and BM, all these different, and they're still 20%ers. So the opportunity when they get to 70s is humongous. When you look at, let's say, a VeChain at 1 cent, what happens when that becomes a 70%? So catching the right 20s before they get to 70s. And then obviously the things that can really impact your life and take you from rags to riches, again, not financial advice, is catching a 20%er like a Doge, 10%er like a Doge, a Shiba, or Matic, or something that started off at a 10%er. VeChain, a lot of these opportunities did, and now they've moved, catch them before they go to 20, and definitely before they go to 70, because something that goes from 10 to 70 is life-changing if you can catch that right asset, right? Before I move forward, guys, let me just say really quickly, thank you so much again to my beautiful queen for another super chat. Let me also say thank you to CKez. He says, I lost my father to cancer. This isn't much, but it is what I can do for now. Crypto4Life, thank you for what you do, 68J. Thank you so much, CKez. That means the world to me, my brother. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Again, my lovely wife has given now, I think, 3 super chats with Dore as well. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, along with seeing Oculus here. Kaylee with the sauce. I appreciate you, Mike Collins. Kaylee says, I'm late, but you're here. That's all that matters. Mike Collins, I appreciate you, my friend, and everyone else that's joined the quintessential. We see you, my friend. How you doing? So with that being said, guys, let's move into right now the market sentiment. You know, everything that you guys see what's going on right now with Sam Bankman-Fried and just the crazy things that surround him with Kevin O'Leary, you know, and that whole thing of, you know, it's Binance's fault. And you know, I saw some comments, I read some things this morning. It's amazing how someone so smart can say such idiotic things. You know, to be so brilliant and then to say things like Binance wrecked FTX, like Binance was the one who had him and his parents buying homes and doing all this crazy mess, whatever. And again, I don't want to get into who's right or wrong, but just kind of with all that stuff's going on, what it's doing to the market, your perspective of where we're at right now, how that's affecting the market, and just where you see us going. You know, again, not financial advice, but, you know, do you see us being bullish, bearish? Do you think we got more pain coming ahead, you know, with all these CEOs running different exchanges going out of business? And something I didn't read here, but it said they were reading the bankruptcy of FTX, and there was over 1 million creditors. 1 million. How do you 1 million creditors? And they were naming people, and I was actually reading it, and I didn't get a chance to pull it up. But with all that stuff that's going on, just kind of give me your idea of where you feel we're at, how this is affecting the market, and what this might mean in the short and long term. Thymeless.
All right. Well, I think that we still have a lot more hurt to go. We were already going into our crypto winter. We were going into the bear cycle. If you zoom out and you look at macroeconomics within the crypto space, we were already going down.
That's right.
The cycles, all cycles of every investment class are going to go through ups and downs.
Right.
Well, now you're seeing multiple exchanges going down. You're seeing the actual fraud that was happening. And so I believe we have a whole lot more to go. I do think it is going to affect the market and take it down even further.
Right.
But I think paying attention and being this is the time that it's accumulation season also.
Right.
So the fear and greed index was already extremely fearful already. Right. So I use that as a gauge too when I'm looking at it. So for one, hey, we know a lot of people who are extremely wealthy and maybe smart aren't smart in all aspects.
That's right.
And some of what we're hearing from Kevin O'Leary is a very narcissistic standpoint too of, hey, somebody else needs to take the blame. We can't take it.
That's right.
So, and a lot of times being able to leverage the fear over here and say that I support this is how they make their millions.
That's right.
Let's be real. I mean, not being real with people is how they really make their money.
Right.
So I think that you're only seeing an insider look that normally is on the other side of the table.
That's right.
That common people don't normally get to see. That's what you see in the boardroom.
Right.
But now there's a microscope on them, so therefore we're going to see it.
That's right.
So for me, I would say have your list together, have your very short, mid, and long-term goals,
right.
Have an entry and exit strategy, and build on that. Don't let hype from an influencer or a celebrity bring you into a coin that you were not interested in. Do your research, start reading and understanding these ecosystems. A lot of these coins that you're in have such a vast ecosystem. One of my very long-term holds, not financial advice, is Constellation DAG.
Right. That's right.
I'm a veteran.
Right.
I love that
That's
one.
That's right.
And what they're doing, but you have to read it. And it's super technical.
Right.
You don't have to be technical and understand it all. You just have to get the grasp of what's going on and keep doing your research. So those are the things that I suggest and do say we are going down further.
Yeah.
Just be mindful and never stop taking a pulse of your portfolio.
No, I think that's very brilliant. Before I go to Majid, it's very smart. I'm actually a big fan of DAGs as well. I'm waiting for, and again, this is not financial advice. I'm waiting for a retracement to take a bigger position in DAG. They're one of the only if not the only asset or crypto asset that actually has, or project that has a contract with the government. I believe it's what, the Air Force, if I'm not mistaken.
DOD.
Yeah, DOD.
Well, they are partnered with DOD, and
Okay.
they got the Air Force award.
Yeah, and so, and they've got some serious things going on. They got a contract, all these different things. So that's something, and that's a coin that I'm actually planning on covering. I made an announcement that I want to do a coin a day. The coin that I actually had pulled up was something that someone mentioned, but I think DAG might be the next one I talk about. Today I was going to talk about B Pro, just because I had someone that brought that up. And right here I'm showing one of the articles here from my Twitter page, where it talked about, when I was talking about Sam Bankman-Fried and the whole thing, suggests they may be 1 million creditors that's owed, and so it's just so much going on, guys, in this marketplace. But no, she made a lot of amazing points. One of the things that I love that I watched Oculus just said, and I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm trying to get a lot in a little bit of time. It says, Oculus said, instead of running away like most people do when the market isn't green, they should be using this time to accumulate. And I'm going to take it further. Study. Be a great student. Understand what you're into. Understand the likelihood of that project surviving. Because right now, with all this heavy regulation, Majid and Thymeless, one of the things that I took from watching that hearing was they're going to be coming after everything strong. And whether or not certain projects are going to make it, I think it goes back to what Majid says, those weak projects that don't have, real, utility and real things behind it, as far as, being able to survive stuff like that. And I think on the other end of it, not only will certain projects not make it, but I think on the other end, the Congress and a lot of people on that side in that hearing, they don't really even understand what, if you ask them what Polygon or Matic is, they have no idea what, what these amazing projects are, and what's going on. So it's really easy for someone like, even like, you hear Michael Sayer, that I post a lot of his stuff just because I like his bullishness on Bitcoin is the future. But I also don't think he understands. If he understood Polygon and he understood certain projects, he wouldn't just be saying everything else is crap. There's no way you can say that and really understand what these amazing projects are doing. So with that being said, Majid, your input kind of going off of what Thymeless just said and I said as well.
Yeah, so the thing to take if you're in it, hopefully you're in it for the long term.
That's right.
Right? If they ban Bitcoin tomorrow in the US, okay.
Right.
Cannabis was also illegal at one point in the US.
That's right.
We broke through that, we could break through this.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. It's
agree.
about the long-term global ecosystem here. And Jay pointed out the research piece. And I think that's really what differentiates people.
Right.
Because hey, I'm a mix of things, right? There's certain people I follow on YouTube, Crypto4Life being one of them, right? And but even the information I get from there, what's interesting, you see like every influencer saying the same thing, same story, over and over again, right? It's all the same crap, right? It's all the same stuff.
Right.
So my suggestion is don't chase headlines.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
You're going to get lost in the headlines, right?
Yeah.
Look at the details. Meaning, right, go instead of just taking a look at what's happening on YouTube, go on like Coin Agenda, take a look at Medium, subscribe to a couple different channels, take a look at the quality and the source of your information. Are you like 5 steps away from the information? Did Altcoin Daily, who I also enjoy, Altcoin Daily, did they get the information from from whoever, like whether it's Cardano's founder, Charles Hodgkinson, who got information from the Senate, who got information from, where did that original source of information come from?
Right.
Right.
That's right. No, that makes sense.
Start following the source and start looking at the details within it. Like if you're reading a Starbucks article on implementation by Starbucks, don't just be bullish on Matic, right? Matic was just one piece
That's
of
right.
that integration.
That's right. That's right.
There's like 15 other partners on there. Who were those other partners?
That's right. That's right.
Right?
That's right.
What did they do for them?
Yep.
You know, if you know that, like, well, who else are they doing it for? Do they have a token? You know, like, that's what I mean about the difference between like chasing headlines and really kind of digging in deep. And you know, if you believe in decentralization, if that appeals to your spirit as a human being,
That's right.
right, then it appeals to a lot of people. And at the end of the day, no matter what politicians there, the people have a voice at the end of the day.
That's right.
And we will see whether it's today, tomorrow, our children will grow up, you know, things will happen, right?
That's right.
And you know, time is the only thing that brings everything else into balance, right? So if you believe in it, you know, be in it and just don't chase the headlines.
I mean, well said, and it's really the definition of why we're all here. The evolution of money. Majid knows, Thymeless knows, guys. Super, super excited about these two guys, these two guests that are on right now. And really quickly, guys, we have a legend in the house. I gotta play a little music, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
In the bag, man, the next night. A moon party, so you know we had to take flight. So many years and it's still.
What's up, my brother?
Fear selling and I'm still all in.
My brother from another mother, the one and only Crypto Savvy One, who we really show a lot of his charts. Not only is he in here, he says stopped in to say hi, build houses and land in bear markets. You know, Crypto Savvy is one of the realest ones, guys. I got a lot of love for the guy. He got a lot of crap last year when he came out with the .com bubble chart and he started telling people back, I think it was December 2nd of last year, we're going down and this is why. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of things that not only the charts are showing, and this is way before Luna. This is way before Celsius. This is way before FTX and Genesis and Gemini. All these things that are happening before CEO started. He says there's going to be a scam washout. It's going to happen, and we're going to see loads that and no one expects. And people said he was crazy to say we would go down by 50%. It's possible. 20%, you're crazy. You know, 15,000, you're insane. 10,000, delete your account. They were saying everything you can against this guy. And he stuck to the charting. He stuck to what he was saying. I followed it. It helped me out a lot greatly. You see a lot of people going back and saying they'll appreciate him. So, first of all, thanks for stopping by, my brother. I'm looking forward to having him on right now. He's building his house from the ground up. He also said, what's up to my man, Frankie. So what's up, Frankie? So Crypto said, we appreciate you, brother. Getting back to what we were talking about, guys, a lot of great information here. But one of the things I want to also get into really quickly is, what do you guys feel in the short term, if you can really, because we're over an hour now, but what do you feel in the short term is going to happen as far as crypto? Not financial advice, but just from a personal perspective. Like, I think we personally are going to see 10. I think we're personally going to get well underneath that. And I was reading some things. I was trying to find it when you guys were talking on my Twitter, where they're saying there were some really big people as far as just who are crypto supporters, whether it's politicians, whether it's big investors, whether it's Fortune 500 company guys. They had this article where they were saying they expect us to go into a recession, if not a depression, with a lot of stuff that's going on. It's not over. There was a big list of things that were listed, why they had this sentiment. Not saying it's going to happen, but we're just saying that it could happen. And if where's your take on that, both of you guys? If you can sum that up, what's your thoughts on possibly going down, maybe under 10, and what you're doing to prepare for that, Thymeless?
They say that we're approaching a recession. If we would have went by the definition before they changed it, we are essentially in a recession.
Right.
They put all that stimulation out. So now it's just time to be prepared and be ready. Don't be fearful.
That's right.
Be very solid in your plan and move forward accordingly. If you believe in crypto, move ahead. If you don't, then it's time to withdraw yourself from the space and just sit on your hands, I guess. But if you believe, it's time to put your plan into motion, in my personal opinion.
I love how she said that, straight to the point. And I think what follows that up is kind of what Bullish PDP Real said. He goes 2023, and I think this is extremely true. Again, not financial advice, but what Bullish PDP Real said is 2023 will be a bad year economically, because we have to pay the price for land being way sky high this year, or cars selling for 30,000, 15,000 over what the sticker said. I mean, I hate to use the word, I just use the word take advantage. A lot of people were taken advantage of. I remember one guy talking, I can't remember his name, he's a big influencer, a real smart guy as far as economics and stuff. He goes, you can't justify the average car payment being $700 to $1,000 a month. That's ridiculous. And that's not sustainable. That's ridiculous. People out there with $5,000, $4,000 a month mortgages. That's ridiculous. And that's what was going on throughout this year here. Majid, you can quickly touch on your thoughts.
Yeah, I think there's one marker that needs to be followed, and that's regulation,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
So we have till regulation basically,
That's right. That's right.
right? To do as much accumulation as we can, because after that, the big boys get to get a seat at the table, and there's trillions of dollars that are going to come into the space.
That's right.
And then you're not going to have the option to be able to catch up. There's not going to be the downturns that you see.
Right.
You're not going to see the discounts that we're getting right now. So you have to regulation.
Yeah. That's
So,
right.
I hope it's as far as possible so everyone kind of could catch up a little bit.
Right.
But, it's supposed to be coming in next year.
Yeah.
Right? It needs a
yeah.
framework. So, I think we have like a good 12 to 18 months to really focus and take advantage of the market. Like we're lucky to have this retracement.
Right.
So asking people like us to get back in the game and be in it. It's not just for the big boys. So let's play ball.
And I think to touch on what you guys both said, and you just hit a nerve with me with that one, and that is I don't think we appreciate Thymeless and Matic. Thymeless and Majid, Magic doing a lot with Matic. Thymeless and Majid. I don't think we understand the position we're in right now, and I don't think it's kind of like. I don't know if you guys understand. Like, there's a time when I was younger, right? I got some speeding tickets and I didn't pay my tickets. I don't know why I'm telling myself right now. I need to stop. But and my license got suspended for a minute, right? And I didn't understand how important my damn license was until I lost it. Otherwise, it just sat in my wall all the time. I never understood how important that thing was for so many things in my life, and just to make it where I wasn't scared, or whatever, or I knew I couldn't get on a flight, whatever it may be. And I think that once the big money comes in and regulation hits, I think a lot of people, you son of a bee, I can't believe you guys were, Warren Buffett, you were talking all, now you want to put, this much into Bitcoin and the prices are up, and we're going to start doing the blame game and the pissed off game because we didn't understand the position we're in right now, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think people understand the blessing that we're in right now. Bitcoin was this. Look, the opportunity is now. You got to remember, 2 or 3 years ago, people are still calling it black web money, dirty money, scam money, and all this stuff. Now you see countries and governments and celebrities and some of the biggest names in the world that are embracing it. And what happens, like you said, Majid, when regulation hits, and all of a sudden you'll never see another 80 cents Matic. You'll never see another 30-something cents XRP if that works out as we all hope it does. You'll never see another $1,200 Ethereum or potentially when Bitcoin does, because I think it's going to retrace, in my personal opinion, a $5,000 or $10,000 Bitcoin or a $15,000 or $20,000 Bitcoin. And I think that's when the reality is going to kick in. And then so many times I've seen this, and I've done it early on, where you start trying to chase, and no, it's going to come back down, and it never does, and it leaves you. And all you can think back is, oh my God, I was there when it was 15 and I was waiting for this and I was waiting for that instead of, and that's the importance, I think, of dollar cost averaging, because even if the market turned up right now and went up, I'm good. All that means is all that money, because I haven't sold anything, all that money comes right back times whatever, right? So I'm winning either way. But I'm also prepared, like Thymeless says, is being on the sideline and waiting patiently, understanding that one of the greatest transfers of wealth in the history of mankind for the everyday average person, not just Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos and all these big money guys, is going to be for the average everyday person. It's going to be one of the fairest forms of capitalism or that we all have the opportunity to be a part of at one time. And the unfortunate truth is so many people are going to sit around and watch. And these are people that me and you've talked to, that doggone Thymeless, she's just selfish. And Majid and James, because they don't want to listen now. And then when it moves, they're going to say, oh, you had an insight. No, we've been telling you this forever, guys. And I think the reality is going to kick in when people, it's just going to be a lot of regret. It's going to be a lot of regret. And I think that's why it's so important what both of you guys said is have a plan now. Yes, I do think Bitcoin is going to get under 10,000, and because of all the things that are going to happen with the economy, we have to pay the price, and not just for what Sam Bankman-Fried did and FTX and FTT, but also just all the crap that's been going on in our economy. The housing market is horrible, energy crisis, all this stuff's going on, and so I just think when all those things come together, it's going to be further recession, sis, and it's going to be an incredible opportunity. And I think when we look up, us little people, because I still consider myself a little person, regardless of what I've done, we're going to look up and go, oh my God, and there's going to be tsunamis coming in of big money, tsunamis. And people aren't going to know what's going on. So really quickly, as we leave with that, what's your perspective on that, Majid, and then Timeless, on just like you said, people miss an opportunity because it's going to happen, just like you said, Majid.
Yeah, where our attention goes, that's also where our energy goes,
That's
right?
That's
So
right.
it's just, what are you paying attention to,
That's right.
right? In your the quality of your attention is really based on the quality of your life,
That's right.
right? So you could focus on this crash and dummies like SBF and like all the crap that's happening, or you could take a look at the crumbling, or
That's
you
right.
could take a look at the construction,
That's right. That's right.
right? So just focus in on that piece, and I
That's
think
right.
you'll be good.
That's right. That's well said, my brother. And over to Timeless, which Mike Collins says Timeless has been talking about the same thing for nearly 2 years. Timeless has been 100% right. Shout out to Mike Collins for that. Timeless, your thoughts, sis?
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. We weren't around when the stock market came out. There
That's
was
right.
a lot of naysayers and a lot of people that were afraid of that. But look at how generational wealth was built in that
That's
time.
right.
We are going into a new asset class that is essentially the same thing, just different wheelhouse.
That's right.
So now it's time to research and read what they used to say back then, correlate it to what we're reading right now, and just truly just build on what you believe. And I've always said, I say it all over Dames on the Blockchain, is if it will make you tap in a little bit harder on your portfolio, is if you invest in your interests.
That's right.
Find the projects that talk to you at their interest and
That's right.
invest in those, because you will stay tapped in. So if nobody gets nothing else from this whole conversation, and whatever I've said, that is one of the biggest ones. Invest in your interest and keep going. There's a lot of naysayers, but we are creating our own new reset. We don't need the economy to give us our own new reset. We don't need the new 401ks that they're trying to give us, because you guys aren't watching those. Those are going down
That's right.
too.
That's right. That's right.
Now we're building it.
Right.
We are building it.
Right. Right.
Be in control of your financial future, and now is the time.
Well, you know what? To both of you guys, before we take off here's the thing, guys. I low-key think that big money, the reason that a lot of big money is pissed off, your Warren Buffett, you guys may or may not agree with this, your big institutions, your big players, and even governments, they're mad because the average person, it's our time now. Like you said, with stocks, a lot of us didn't have that opportunity. And I think the reason that we're being hated on and crypto's being hated on, because it's giving everybody an equal opportunity to be extraordinary and create extraordinary wealth. And a lot of those things that you just talked about, sis, with 401ks and retirement, is all set up in a very slave-driven mindset. Not slave on a certain nationality. Slave as governments and the people. The high want to stay high, and they want to keep us on the. And that's why they can't stand crypto, because they try to tell you just do the 401ks and retirement so you can get a little bit of what didn't even help you live before, a fraction, so you can continue to struggle. It's all just, and that's why they're mad, is because we're all taking the blue pill. We're saying screw the red pill, and we're in the matrix, and we see what's going on, and they don't like that. So with that said, just your closing comments real quick, Majid and Timeless. Majid, go ahead on what I just said. Last comment.
No, 100%, man. This is I'm gonna steal that, Timeless. Just the people's research. And you could be on the sideline. You could be, but wherever you are, just pay attention.
That's right.
Right?
Amen.
Because we're all where we're supposed to be,
That's right.
but doesn't mean that that's where we have to be.
That's right. That's right.
So let's rock and roll. It's the season, and you have amazing people around like Timeless and James and so many other amazing people who are taking their time out of their lives and their vacations, to be
That's
able
right.
to put into them. So if you don't have a really good circle of friends or people that you could talk with about this, then jump on these channels, jump on these
That's right.
chats, jump in the Discords, jump in the Telegram groups, and we're in a different world today. There's no excuses.
That's right, guys. And on that note, before we bring in Timeless really quick, guys, make sure you check out Dames on the Blockchain with Timeless and Oculus. It comes on every single Wednesday at, what is that, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Timeless, as you go out really quickly, can you explain to us what Dames on the Blockchain is, what you and Sis, and why you guys do what you do? And I've actually tuned in. It's amazing. Great material, great information. Touch on that real quick as we head out.
Yeah. Oculus and I seen a lack of actually just community driven, where somebody could be accessible. YouTube is great, but we have to read the comments. It makes you very available, caught right off guard. Somebody can grab the mic. I have this question. I want to know your idea, and you're right there. You're
Right.
in the moment. You don't get to run away from it. So our basis was building education and knowledge all in one place, building a community where it's learn one, do one, teach one. So you're just continuing to move it across. If somebody's not looking at us, we're not influencers. We're not making calls. We're not telling you what to do. We want to give you all the tools you need to be successful within your crypto and investment strategies. So that is the baseline of it.
Love it, Sis. Appreciate you. Majid, appreciate you, my brother. Love you as always. Sis, much love. Appreciate you. Continue enjoying yourself on that incredible journey, guys. Again, my brother Majid Zafar and my sister Timeless Travel, part of Dames on the Blockchain. Catch it every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, guys, we'll appreciate you. We'll get into our drawing. Much love, and we'll see you guys soon. Make sure you get in the drawing as well, guys. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.